What's up, boys? This weekend for the UFC, we're in Des Moines, Iowa. It's actually a really good card. We got Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. My main op is on this card. Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel's going down. Okay, I got a bone to pick with Bo Nickel, but we're gonna get to you when we get to you, my boy. Okay, so the first gripe that I have with this card is there's like three women's fights on here. Can we get the women their own organization, please? Let them fight on Sundays. Like let them fight on Sundays. Give them like a 4 fight card, 5 fight card, all to themselves. Okay, and let them, like the WNBA has their own thing. I've said this too many times. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic. Okay, Juliana Miller is 4-2 in the UFC. Why are you 4-3? Why are you still here? And Ivana Petrovic is 7-2. They're both coming off of losses. It's honestly a coin toss. Just flip a coin in the air. Moving on, boys. Thomas Peterson versus Dontel Mays. So Dontel Mays has been here for a little bit. Okay, both of these boys are coming off of losses. Dontel Mays is a lot taller than this guy. He hits a lot harder. Thomas Peterson could get it done just by holding my boy on the ground and trying to ground and pound him, but I don't think it's gonna go that way. I really don't. Thomas Peterson, I don't have that much faith in you when you're going against a guy who's 5 inches taller than you. Okay? Let's be real. And Dontel Mays does put people to sleep. He does put people to sleep. He has a lot of knockouts. It's a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. But he's off and on. My boy's off and on. Dontel Mays is off and on. But we're gonna hopefully say that his last fight is a loss, so his next fight's a win. It goes like that. Sometimes it goes like that. Moving on, boys. Gaston Bolaños versus Quang Lee. Okay, versus Quang Lee. Now, Gaston Bolaños, if you have not noticed, is literally a carbon copy of Ilia Topuria. He looks just like him. Literally red shorts and all. Literally red shorts and all. Um, my boy Quang Lee is from the Contender Series. He's 1-1 in the UFC. He's a wrestler. He's in there. He's from Vietnam. But we're going to go with the Ilia Topuria carbon copy, who's coming off of a win, who's been in the UFC for longer. You know, he's 8-4, so his record's a little bit worse. But I believe in my boy. My boy's going to get the job done. And that's about it. Moving on, boys. Women's MMA. Women's MMA. Gillian Robertson versus Mariana Rodriguez. What, just flip a coin in the air, guys. Do you guys really want? If you guys really want me to break down women's fights, do you guys really want me to break down women's fights? Nobody watches women's MMA. Nobody does, unless it's Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili's a savage. Okay, I'm watching Zhang Weili, but I'm not watching any other women's MMA. If I'm being real, I'm really not. I'm really not. Moving on, boys. Moving on, boys. Ryan Loder versus Azmiziev Bekovic. Now. Amazmat. Azamat Bekovic. Azamat Bekovic. Okay, hey. Versus Ryan Loder with the weirdest physique I think I've ever seen in my life. He looks like an action figure. He looks like a melted down action figure. That's actually a little ridiculous. Okay, well, anyways, Azamat Bekovic is from Russia. He's from Russia. He's a prospect. He's 19-3. He's coming off of a KO win over Zach Reese at UFC 311 with a nasty ground and pound. Okay, Ryan Loder is a recent Ultimate Fighter winner. He's a wrestler. He got some submission skills. This is going to be a banger. This is definitely going to be a banger, but I'm going to go with the Russian. Okay, normally I would stay with within the United States. I'm going to go with the home team, but I might have to pick the Russian. Azmat is kind of disgusting. What he did at 311 was a little bit outrageous. My boy's kind of vicious, and the betting line suggests that my boy is minus 395. My boy's minus 395. Okay, moving on, boys. Another women's fight, but it's Miesha Tate. It's Miesha Tate. Pretty sure Miesha Tate is a former bantamweight champion. Hey, grappling specialist. So, hey, like whatever you got to see there, I guess, whatever you got to see there. A loss is gonna get them out of the rankings, essentially. Rank 10, rank 12, I don't know how the rankings works in the women's MMA. It's definitely not the same for the men's. Okay, moving on, boys. Jeremy Stephens versus Mason Jones. So Jeremy Stephens got a 1-fight contract with the UFC. My boy Jeremy Stephens is on like a 7-fight losing streak in the UFC. Subbed by Gamrot round 1. KO'd by round 2 in Calvin Kattar. Lost to Yair Rodriguez decision. No contest, Yair Rodriguez. Got his ass beat by Putin Magomedov. Lost to Aldo. Like, it just keeps going. But then he went to BKFC and decided to just, like, tear some shit up and go absolutely crazy. He does have 20 KOs. He does. He does. But, listen, the betting line is like that for a reason. It's plus 425. For whatever reason, Jeremy Stevens cannot just operate inside the octagon. He literally can't. If it's not bare knuckle boxing, my boy cannot operate inside the octagon. That does not mean I'm not picking him. Doesn't mean I'm not picking him. We are picking Jeremy Stevens. Kind of for the memes, but hey, he's doing great in bare knuckle boxing. He's doing great in bare knuckle boxing, and I think if he just like adapts his skills into the octagon, it should not be that hard, Jeremy Stevens. It should not be that hard. I don't understand how you went on like a 7-fight, 6-fight, 4-fight losing streak and just went to bare knuckle boxing and decided to tear some shit up. You know what I mean? But hey, Mason Jones is 2-2 in the UFC. He's 29. He's from the Contender Series. He's trying to build his record up. Listen, if Jeremy Stevens wins, what are they going to do? They're not going to sign him to the UFC, right? This is a one-fight signing. This is literally a one-fight signing. I don't think that the UFC would put somebody against Jeremy Stevens that they think that Jeremy Stevens would beat. Just because it's a one-day contract. The one-day contract. This is essentially a free layup for the UFC to just create a star. You're just going to be able to create a star. Yeah, I'm a champion from another organization, and I want to fight in your organization for one day. I'm like, okay, I'm going to feed you the fucking biggest monster that we have that doesn't have any popularity, so he can get a name for himself. Because you, Jeremy Stevens, have some notoriety online. But listen, I'm going to pick Jeremy Stevens to put Mason Jones lights out, okay? Do I think it's going to happen? Am I going to tell you guys I'm 100% with this? No. But I'm going to put my bets in on Jeremy Stevens. My boy's plus 425. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Moving on, boys. Cameron Smotherman. Cameron Smotherman versus Seraphy Sydney. Now, if you just take a look at the guy on the left, his name is Cameron Smotherman. He's a Cameron Smotherman. Both of these dudes are coming off of wins. Okay, I'm not really that tapped into Cameron Smotherman. He has 1 win by submission, 6 by knockout. See, that's very misleading. That's extremely misleading. Coming off of a decision win. Okay. Coming off of a decision win. Now, Seifert Sydney. You know what I mean? Seifert Sydney is 1-1 in the UFC. Listen, I'm just going with Cameron Smotherman just off the name. These guys do have kind of similar stats, though. 7 wins by knockout, 1 win by submission. Same thing with this guy. 6 wins by knockout, 1 win by submission. But Surfy ends shit a lot more quicker, though. Allegedly, has 4 first-round finishes. This guy only has 2. But we're going to go with Smotherman because of his name, okay? His name is Cameron Smotherman. He's going to smother a man, okay? Like, I don't think I could stress that enough. Moving on, boys. This fight's actually banging. This fight is busting. Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos. Okay, boys? So, Daniel Marcos is undefeated, obviously. 17-0. He's unranked, though. Montel Jackson is ranked 15. He KO'd Damone Blackshear. Montel Jackson is pretty much, all around dangerous. He's good on the ground. He's good wrestling. He's good striking. He's pretty much savage. But Daniel Marcos, he's 4-0 in the UFC. He's well-rounded as well. And this is his chance to make a big-ass name for himself in the bantamweight division, a division that's full of animals. This is going to be a banger. More than likely going to decision. I'd slap my money on decision for this fight all day. All day decision. I'm going to go with Daniel Marcos. He has the momentum, bro. He's 17-0. He's undefeated. He's going to have all the hype around him in media day, which is today, actually. I got to go watch all the interviews, which is today. I got to go check out my boy's interview. But we're going to go with Daniel Marcos. He got the momentum coming into this. Montel Jackson is going to sit here and try to defend his spot. But Marco's cardio is gonna, he's gonna run this up. Moving on, boys. Santanigo Ponzinibbio. Santanino Ponzinibbio, you heard it right, versus Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez does have the GTA RP tattoos. He's going a little bit crazy. And Santanino Ponzinibbio, with the name like that, he has a lot of aura. Okay, he has a lot of aura. Anyways, this is an OG Unk fight. These guys are fighting for basically gatekeeper status. To just stay in the division. Both of these guys are coming off of wins. This is going to be like a striking fest. It's going to be a bludgeoning. Daniel Marcos, this is savage, but he throws a lot quicker. He's like more of like a Max Holloway. I'm not really trying to compare him to Max Holloway, but just so you get an idea, his output is insane. And Pombino throws Pombinos. He's throwing bombs. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with Daniel Rodriguez just off the strength. He's cooler tattoos. Got cooler tattoos. He's gonna throw a lot quicker. He's gonna throw a lot more strikes. And when you throw a lot more strikes, they're gonna do more damage than the person who's not throwing as many strikes. It's just simple math. Simple math, boys. Daniel Rodriguez, let's go. Moving on, boys. I was kind of speeding through this whole thing so I can get to this one. Bo Nickel versus Rainier de Ritter. Okay. Bo Nickel's a fraud. Bo Nickel's a fraud, and I'm going to explain everything to you, boys. So, his last fight is Paul Craig, a dude who he did not shoot against. You want to know why? Because he knew if he shot against Paul Craig was going to submit him and turn him into a pretzel. If I shoot against Paul Craig, he's going to turn me into a pretzel. Okay, it was a very shitty fight. That fight against Paul Craig, very shitty. Go watch. They posted it on YouTube because he won. But if he lost that fight, I mean, obviously, if he lost that fight, they're not posting it on YouTube. But anyways, go watch that fight. It's a disgrace of a fight. His fight before that was his fight with Cody Brundage, which, okay, if you look at Cody Brundage now, Cody Brundage is like a savage. Cody Brundage is doing things in the division. He just beat Julian Marquez. Oh, I forgot that this had a do not continue. But he's been looking good. My boy's been looking good. Bo Nickel, on the other hand, is not. He has never fought anybody with as many accommodations as Rainier de Ritter. This guy is a one championship double champion, a savage, an animal. His striking is not all there. He's built like Slender Man a little bit, but on the ground, he's absolutely dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. 4 wins by knockout, 13 wins by decision, 11 first round finishes. 11 first round finishes. Now, when you look at Bo's record, you're like, okay, 2 wins by knockout, 4 wins by submission, 5 first round finishes, but yes, he does not have a lot of fights in the UFC, so that's kind of insane stats. But when you look at the people he's fighting, except for Cody Brundage, Cody Brundage is pretty nice. Everybody else, Val Woodburn, sorry to say it to you, you're ass. Whoever this is, Jiminy Cricket is also ass. Whoever he fought on the regional scene, ass, okay? Yes, I understand he's an NCAA champion, but these stats don't mean shit when you are experienced in fighting and they put you against literal trash cans. Let's see you against some real competition, and we did with Craig, and you look like garbage. So this is the best opponent for Bo Nickel to fight. You're a wrestler. Shoot on Rainier de Ritter. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. I cannot wait. And Bo Nickel is just some cocky asshole. He's so cocky. Just watch any video of him, bro. Any video of him just anywhere. Interview, talking to his friends. He has his own podcast. There's clips of him on his own podcast. He's just like so self-absorbed. It like literally pisses me the fuck off. Now, Rainier de Ritter is the people's champion. The people's champion. He turns people into literal pretzels. I should have pulled up Tapology for this because obviously they don't have anything in here. But Rainier de Ritter's so nice. Obviously Kevin Holland is Kevin Holland. He's not like, But Kevin Holland sat here and begged Rainier de Ritter, please, just give me one round where I could stand up and squabble with you and do not take me down. Rainier de Ritter said, who the fuck is this guy? Took his ass down and embarrassed him. Turned him into a little pretzel. It was a little embarrassing, okay? Rainier de Ritter, by whatever the fuck he wants, whenever Bo Nickel decides that he wants to shoot, it's over. And good luck trying to circle Rainer the Ritter like you did Paul Craig. Good luck. Good luck. You know, you're not the only person that knows how to do a little double leg, my boy. Rainer the Ritter can shoot. Moving on to the main event. You know, I wanted to go so much deeper on Bo Nickel, but like, I don't have the pictures. Like, you know, like, takes me a little bit to get ready to do these videos, boys. Moving on, boys. Corey Sandhagen versus Davidson Figueiredo. This is the main event. Both of these guys are coming off of losses. Davidson Figueiredo lost in China against Peter Yan. Banger fight. Corey Sandhagen lost against Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, you know, this is bantamweight. Everything goes to decision here unless you're just like dumb, you know? But Corey Sandhagen has this by a mile. Go rewatch that Song Yadong fight. Song Yadong is a fucking animal. Song Yadong is a lot more scarier than Davidson Figueiredo, in my personal opinion. I would much rather fight Davidson Figueiredo than Song Yadong. Okay, Song Yadong is like an animal, in my opinion. Okay, Corey Sandhagen used his height and his fighting IQ to keep him in the game, sliced him open with elbows, kept him away from him the whole time, did his thing. Looked incredible. He looked great, and he looked great under pressure because Song Yadong was definitely a lot more stronger than Corey was. And he did his thing. He looked great. Now, Davidson Figueiredo is shorter than Song Yadong, and he's going to have an even tougher time closing that distance and closing that gap. I don't think it's going to be able to be done. Go rewatch Volkov versus Pavlovich. It's disgusting. When somebody's that tall, they literally could just jab. They literally could just 1-2. Good luck. Good luck. And then you shoot. I'm just gonna bring my knee up. I'm gonna see you coming from a mile away, bro. I'm literally looking down on you. I could see your shoulders twitch. Like, it's not gonna be a fun night for Davidson Figueiredo, and it kind of sucks. If you look at my other videos, there's been pictures of him coming out of this camp, and it's been looking a little rough, a little fat, a little hair not dyed, you know. But hopefully, hopefully this is a banger. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a beating. I think this is going to be a vicious beatdown. I really do. I really do think this is going to be a vicious beatdown. All right, boys. That's it for me. We're going to do some clips for TikTok real quick. You ready? So, 1, 2, 3. What's up, boys? So this weekend in Des Moines, Iowa, we got the fight card breakdown. We're going with Corey Sandhagen, Rainer de Ritter. He's going to dominate Bo Nickel. Daniel Rodriguez, Danielle Marquise. We're going with Cameroon Smotherman because he's going to smother this man. We're going with Jeremy Stevens for the lulz. He's going to knock out Mason Jones. We're not taking any women's fight. Why would you ever bet on a women's fight? We're going with Asmat Bekovic by whatever he wants. Do not bet on women's fights. We're going with Gaston Bolanos because he looks just like Ilia Tuporia. We're going with Dontel Mays because he's way taller than Thomas Peterson's. And I cannot stress this enough. Do not bet on women's MMA. The lines do not matter. Whoever makes the lines on women's MMA makes it up. Okay, boys? Anyways, it was great talking to you guys. I'm out of here.